In the lineage of modern art, abstraction was never merely a departure from figuration or rebellion against realism. It was a radical quest for the language of art, a primordial syntax that predates written script and pictorial representation, residing instead within the deep structures of form and color. Since the dawn of the 20th century, when visionaries like Wassily Kandinsky, Kazimir Malevich, and Piet Mondrian declared that fundamental geometric shapes could encapsulate the purity of human experience, the triangle, square, circle, and the primary triad of yellow, red, and blue became the new alphabet of modernity. However, this alphabet was never alien to the visual heritage of non-Western cultures. For centuries, Islamic and Arabic arts have been anchored in a sophisticated geometric order defined by repetition, symmetry, rhythm, and a sublime economy of form. In this context, these contemporary experiments can be read as a conscious endeavor to reconnect modern abstraction with its ancient localized cultural roots. These works, inspired by Al-Quad al-Asri and the folk motifs of Najd and Al-Asa, do not merely borrow superficial ornamentation. Instead, they reclaim a deep structural and chromatic logic where geometric forms and primary colors evolve into a visual system capable of carrying both collective memory and identity. Abstraction as the evolution of heritage. Modern abstraction is often perceived as a universal language detached from cultural particularities. Yet this practice proposes a different trajectory. Cultural abstraction here, the geometric form is never neutral. It is saturated with civilizational references. The recurring triangles, rhythmic lines, and points within these canvases evoke the spirit of Al-Quad al-Asri, the mural art perfected by the women of the Azar region over centuries, where walls were transformed into vibrant geometric landscapes. Simultaneously, we find echoes of Najdi motifs, triangular compositions, geometric stars, and circular mandalas alongside visual old rhythms reminiscent of the architectural heritage of Al-Asa. These elements undergo a process of reduction, distilling them into foundational shapes that resemble a visual genesis, blending local soul with global language. The triangle, the dimerics of ascent. The triangle emerges as the most vital kinetic force. By its geometric nature, it possesses an inherent upward trajectory associated across cultures with transcendence and aspiration. Often positioned centrally, it acts as a gravitational axis for visual energy, a symbolic pyramid rising from the base toward an open spatiality. This creates a vertical tension and a spiral charge reminiscent of Malevich's suprematism. The square, the order of the terrestrial, in contrast to the triangle's ascent. The square serves as the element of stability. It is the form most intimately linked to the earth and architecture, reflecting notions of order and equilibrium. It functions as a cradle or a cultural vessel containing identity, while it echoes the functionalist aesthetics of the Bauhaus. The square here transcends mere construction to become a topographical signifier of local roots. The circle is a celestial energy center. The circle is the most poetic element, a form without beginning or end, a perennial symbol of totality and infinity. It appears as a symbolic sun or a cosmic eye, radiating energy through radial motifs. It creates a spiritual focal point that balances the triangle's drive and the square stillness, acting as a nexus where lines of visual force intersect. The synthesis of tradition and modernity. What distinguishes this experience is the seamless integration of the structural logic of Arab Islamic art with European modernism. The interplay of primaries and geometry recalls a distal movement's quest for equilibrium and Mondrian's meticulous spatial organization, yet the essential difference remains. This abstraction is not born of formal purity alone, but from a desire to evolve local visual memory. Geometry is not just a system, it is a cultural reservoir of time and place, the geometry of identity. This work constructs a geometry of identity, the triad of shapes, triangles, squares, and colors, red, yellow, blue, become archetypes of the human relationship with the cosmos, the square, the earth, and the home, the tri-universe and infinite energy. In conclusion, these experiments affirm that contemporary art does not require a rupture with heritage to be modern. Instead, it can reclaim that heritage in a more lucid, profound state. Simple shapes become keys to a vast world where the canvas is a symbolic system linking the individual to history and the stars. Does the purity of primary shapes and colors resonate with your personal aesthetic, or do you find more meaning in the complexity of the cultural abstraction described here?